guys, how you doing? So I'm just gonna I've just come to this beautiful spot on this beautiful evening. It's about 6:30 at night, and yes, I do always come to this spot, but why wouldn't I when it's on my doorstep? Anyway, enough said. Let's talk about this thing. Oh yes, the Honda 750X. I said I'd do a bit of review on it, so I just thought we'd have a walk round and then I'll take you on a little ride with me. I've added on a few bits. As you can see, we've got the crash bars, and then I've also put the spotlights on there, which are really good and really bright. So I put an aftermarket exhaust on. Again, not spent a huge amount on that, but I just wanted something that just gave it a bit of a rumble, just a little bit better than the stock exhaust. So that's a GR Moto one. I think about £100, something like that. You get the link as well, the link pipe, as you can see there. Bike's very dirty at the minute because I got absolutely caned with rain the other night, well, the other day should I say, and I've just not had a chance to clean it yet because of work and whatnot. Now the seat that's on it is an aftermarket shad seat. Everybody bangs on about, you know, it's quite a comfy seat, but everybody bangs on saying how uncomfortable the stock seat is. I didn't really give it enough chance to sort of, like, you know, I think I only did about 100 miles on it or something like that. It was starting to sort of feel a bit uncomfortable, but it wasn't over uncomfortable. But again, I've not really reviewed that. I've not really done masses amounts of mileage on this bike as yet. I mean, I've got plans to do that. I've got some jivvy boxes, aluminium cases that are going to go on it. I'm just having a bit of an issue with eBay with the racks that I bought, which didn't arrive, but the boxes did, and 2 weeks later and I've still not got the racks, but they should be coming this week, so I'll show you them when I get those. So it's a 2018 plate, it's got about 20,000 on the clock, it's got full service history, it's a Honda, and yes, it is a DCT. So basically just a big scooter, throttle and off you go. Well, it's not really. It's got different modes on it. If I can just show you this bit. Now the TFT screen, if it's, do you know what, I don't even know if it is a TFT screen. I assume it is, I think it is. So as you can see, it's just pretty basic, pretty standard. You've got different modes on here. So you've got your neutral, you've got your drive, and then you've got your sport mode. So on the sport mode, you just press in and hold it, and that'll change it to sport mode, and then you press and hold again and it goes through this 3 different settings on sports mode. I find number 2 is probably the best one. On the drive it gets a bit clunky because it likes to conserve fuel and goes up the gears pretty quickly. So not a bad screen, you know, it is what it is. And it's got all the information on there. It's got a fuel, let me just turn it on again because you can see that then. So you've got a fuel gauge here, which is really handy as well. Trip, you could flick through the different trips. Obviously there's a clock on there as well, which I think is wrong actually. But yeah, it's pretty basic, but it does everything that you need it to do. So so yeah, it's ideal. Right, with it being a DCT model, obviously if you park it on a hill it won't be in gear, so you've got this handbrake. I've actually left it on a minute because I'm on a bit of an incline. So all you do is you just pull this up and release that, and that's your handbrake. Now the weird thing is, obviously it hasn't got a clutch, but saying that, it's not all lost because it's the DCT and it's automatic. If you come around here, you've got an automatic and manual mode. Press that, and then you can use these paddles. So you've got downshift, and if we just go around here, you've got the upshift. So if you like going through the gears, you can use that. You just haven't got anything obviously for your feet. So I've got aftermarket pegs on just to give me a bit more stand on there, and there's a bit more grip on there because trying to keep with the bike. Is it classed as an adventure bike? I'm not really sure. But people take these off-road, but obviously I've just got road tyres on. I've got the the Michelin PR4s on this at the minute, which I think is an absolutely phenomenal tyre. I've been to the Alps with these tyres on, well the 3s actually, went to the Alps and it was absolutely cascading with rain, and the grip on them was absolutely fantastic, so I'll just stick with those. So you can get like Shinko tyres, which have got a big thick sort of tread pattern on them. So if we just turn it on again, I'll just show you the lighting on the front. So it's an LED light. which isn't the brightest, but watch this. I just keep turning them on. They really make a difference. That's one of the reasons why I put those on there. I've also got the sliders on there. There's also a cover for my radiator to stop any stones or anything like that. You can get the sump cover, which I'm probably looking at, because I just want to I want to use this as a pure workhorse touring bike, and with it being a Honda, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So the fuel is, I'll show you. So we put the key in there, you can see the little thing that says fuel on there, and we turn that, it flicks up this, and there's your fuel. Now the only downside I see of this is if you want to go travelling and you've got all your panniers and your luggage on and everything and your top box, and you want to stick a bag on there and it's cramped down, you've got to take your bag off, which is a bit of a downside. Obviously if you've got a pillion, then you won't have a bag. You probably won't have a bag on there anyway, but if you've got a bag, it's a bit of a ball ache because you've got to take that off every time if it's on. But if you use the rock straps, they unclip fairly easy, so I'd probably recommend those rock straps. Now the best until last, you do this. Whoa, look at that bad boy. That apparently is supposed to be able to fit a full face helmet in there, which I've actually got my bell in, what's sat over there, that's gone in there, no problems at all. Depends on your helmet. If you have like an adventure type helmet with a peak on it, that probably won't go on it, but the helmet does fit snugly in there. But again, you've just got to sort of get the position right on that. So that's enough about, you know, the walk round of the bike. As you can see, it's got grab handles, and it's just pretty, but you know, as a bike would look really. But oh, the height is quite high with this being the X model. This I'm really apologising, but I don't know what the seat height is at the minute. I think it's about 830. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can get these lowered. They do an NC750S, which apparently is a bit lower, but this one's more designed to be up off the floor because obviously it's a bit of a I would say like a cross tourer type bike, if I was to explain it. So this box, like I say, you can get everything in there. I've got a hell of a lot of stuff in here at the minute, but I'm just going to eat these sandwiches and this drink and my scampi fries, and then we'll get back on the bike and we'll do a bit of a review while we're riding it. But there she is, the Honda NC750X in all her glory. That's an aftermarket screen, by the way. Some people don't mind the wind, but you might want to get something a bit bigger. They do better ones than that. That was a £50 something off eBay, but it's absolutely ideal for what I want. I think it's about an 18-inch height. So let me just turn those off before I flatten my battery. There we go. So right, say no more. I'm going to get something to eat in this beautiful spot, and then we're going to we'll take you for a ride. Right, so I've actually forgot my well, I haven't forgot it, but I forgot the mount that sticks on here for my GoPro 7. So you're just going to get a cockpit view today, unfortunately. There's my heated grips just in case it gets cold. Oxford, the best. Right. So you see how we're just knocking into gear. There's a bit of a clunk when it knocks into gear. I think that's perfectly normal. There's a lot of people on forums saying that is the bike supposed to clunk and all that, and I think it is, because it is a chain. It is a chain driven as well. It's not a shaft. It's not as smooth as a shaft. Be interesting to see if they made one with a shaft, but we'll have to see. Right, so that's just automatically come into drive when I pressed it. So if I press it again, I don't know if you can see that. So you've got the S and then you've got the 2. If I keep my finger on it, look, goes to 3. Finger on it, goes to 1. But we're going to have it on 2. 2 gives you good engine braking and also gives you better throttle response, in my opinion. It's not as economical, but if you have it in driving, you're just on motorways, it changes up the gears really quickly, and obviously it conserves fuel, and they're supposed to be good for about, I think it's, I've heard 250 miles on this. It's an 18 litre tank. So anyway, let's hit the road, see where this evening takes us. Make sure that, oh yeah, so handbrake up, press the button, drop it down. You see the bike's just going to roll now. Right, without further ado, let's do this. So people say these are slow, but that pickup certainly, you know, it's a capable bike. It is a capable bike, but when they say it's slow, what they're comparing it to? They're comparing it to a sports bike. And that's the thing, when people say, oh yeah, they're too slow, but what? Against what? Now, if you're talking about the Africa Twin, or you're talking about the GS or the KTM or anything like that, you know, they are, you know, you're going to pay, you're paying high-end money for those, so they probably will give you that better performance. But this is what it is. It's an affordable touring and little adventure bike. The engine is actually a car engine that's sat on its side. Well, it's half a car engine sat on its side, and it's mounted low in the frame, so it's not top heavy at all, meaning you can just throw it around, you know. And it's just like, it is more than capable. And you know, you're going to get up to motorway speeds. You're going to get enough power to overtake cars as well. And it's just people who say that you know, they're slow and whatnot. Well, it's each to your own. Just try it. Just try one out. I wanted something that, you know, I wanted to go touring on, and this just ticks all the boxes. And ever since I sort of saw one, and plus that storage in the front, and the fact that the petrol as well being under the seat, that also contributes to it being a very, very well balanced bike. I'm not gonna take it off road. It's you know, because again, it's all down to the tyres that you have. You don't want, you know, you're not, I think you'd be daft if you took, I mean, you can take it on country lanes and stuff like that with these tyres on, but I think if you wanted to set it up for a sort of off-road bike, and just have it for that purpose, then you might want to get some knobblies on it, and I believe it would be more than capable to do that as well. And I think it's probably a good beginner bike, this. You know, if you want to go to them sort of bikes, like adventure bikes or whatever, or even just you know, it's designed as a commuter as well, so because of the fuel range, it's a perfect commuter bike. Never been up here before. Let's see what's up here. These little bumps and that, yeah, you feel them like you probably would on any bike, but it's not severe. So again, these sort of roads, like you can see these bumps here a lot, you know, and it's capable and flexible as well around them. So, but I never realised, I never really thought that I would enjoy one of these bikes. But yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. And obviously because I put those bigger pegs on, I can, you know, a bit more, if I want to look like an adventure rider. Yeah, I don't be doing too much of that. I'll probably deck it, bin the bike. But I would quite, you know, I will be looking forward to taking this further afield and seeing how it performs. And I think the thing about it as well, when it would torrential rain the other day when I was on it, or the other week, whenever it was, I was just like, I just felt really confident on it, because it's that easy to ride. I just felt really confident, and I just felt, even though it was raining and I had, you know, I had the decent tyres on, but it's just that easy to ride. And you've got quite a high view as well, so you're quite high up. Now I'm 5'11" with a 32 inside leg, and I can get my feet flat on the floor. If you put them in front of the pegs, when you put them on the floor, they're flat on the floor. If I take them, try and sort of straddle the pegs, then the heel's probably slightly up off the floor. Oh, it's got ABS as well, which is obviously it's always a good feature. Digital speedo. Oh, chicken, don't do it. So yeah, they're not fast roads these, but they are quite potholy and everything, and I'm very planted, very comfortable, no issue whatsoever. What's this guy doing? On his flipping phone, on a bike. I don't think you can notice me coming over there. Right. No, we're not going to go up there. Let's go down this way. So I can see well behind me as well. Those wing mirrors are quite decent wing mirrors. They give me a good field of view behind me. And the indicators and everything, they're just normal bulbs indicators, they're not LEDs. It is an LED headlight and LED tail light and brake light, so they're quite bright. Well, saying they're quite bright, the brake light is quite bright, but the I don't reckon much to the headlight at the front. Now, just because you can't really see it doesn't mean it's not the greatest, because I've not really tried it at night. So could have gone up there then. Yeah, I've not really tried it at night, so I'm not really sure what what the beam's like on it. But these spotlights, they're that bright, I can imagine that it just overpower that anyway. I do like that tone of that exhaust though. You don't have to go stupid prices and buy stupid exhaust. It's not, you know, it wasn't about the performance for me or making any difference to the performance. It was just purely for people to hear me. Right, this is going to be smart, isn't it? Let's just look at this here. Kill. Kill. See, that's the good thing about this. You're riding these country lanes, you've got these walls. Now, if you're sat in a car, you can't really see over these walls, but I've just come around there and I spotted that car straight away. I don't think it's a particularly heavy bike. I think it has got a bit of weight to it because it's down bottom end. You can move it around quite easily. All right. Let's go down here. See that being in 2 now, Sport 2, you see, like, I'm not even touching the brake here, and it's a real steep hill this. I'm just touching the brake now, but it's a real steep hill, so it's holding the bike quite well. Ah, so it brings you into home first, does it? That's quite interesting. Because that sounds like a Chinese flipping, one of them Chinese New Year with all them crackers. Sounds ridiculous. Just popping too much, that. I didn't think I'd get used to this DCT, but I think I did a video, if you want to check that out, just my first impressions on it, and I was, you know, it got me straight away. I was in love straight away, and I think just riding this bike, you know, I've had it a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and riding this bike and taking it on different kinds of roads, and you just forget about it. It's just like, it just helps you concentrate more on what you're doing. But it's not for everybody. It'd be quite good to sort of have a go on a manual one, but I know what a manual bike's like to ride, so I can't see the gear changes being any much different. I've never used the manual selection on this because I don't need to, but I have found that Sport 2 for me works well. Some people say Sport 1, some people say Sport 3, but I don't actually know what it does to the, you know, whether it sort of improves the performance. I can't see it being much in it, to be fair. It's just effortless, no effort whatsoever needed. If they say things bad about this bike, I think they say that which it's slightly doing on this one as well, the swing arm, you just got to watch out for the swing arm rusting from inside. I think that's a bit of a common issue on this, so just make sure that you look out for that and try and address it where you can. I just use the ACF50, which I basically I just spray it on a rag and rub it on everything, and that's more than enough protection, I think. So that's it. That's the Honda NC750. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it's just give you a bit of an insight of a non, and I emphasize the word non-mechanical review. I'll leave that to the experts. And I think if you were that bothered about those sort of stats on this bike, then you probably know a bit anyway. So, but thanks for watching. See what I mean? More than capable. So yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, for this non-technical review, just my experience of it. If you want to check out my channel, please press that subscribe button and press the little bell, and you will get alerts every time I put a channel up. Just talk about motorbikes, little rides out, just to pass the time. But if you're interested in that sort of thing, then get on there and subscribe. There's plenty more on there. There's also a first impressions, which I mentioned earlier on this one, if you want to check that out, if you're interested in this bike. But as always, thanks very much to my subscribers. If there's anything that you're not happy with, or you want to see more of, or just general, just leave me a comment. I do try and answer all comments, good or bad. Everybody's got an opinion, and I will get back to you. So yeah, see you later, guys. Crazy out. Like a bird on a tree,
I'm just sitting here, I got time. It's clear to see from up here, the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can